Saturn in the 6th house of your birth chart. The 6th house is a house in which you are seeking to perfect yourself. So you're moving from the realm of the personal to a more one-on-one connection with somebody. And because of that transitional nature of this house, what we find is with planets in the 6th house is that they reflect the desire to become efficient, to become helpful, to manage affairs on a routine basis. And that's the reason that astrologers often say that the 6th house is a house of employment or service, even servitude. Another manifestation of the 6th house is concerns of the health of the body. So when you have Saturn in any house, you're always going to experience a form of restriction, a form of difficulty in regard to the matters of that house. So when you have Saturn in the 6th house, there's a number of ways that you can work with that and that it can give you certain challenges to perfect yourself in a certain way. So one of them is to become either obsessive or terribly concerned about working efficiently, being helpful, and this can manifest itself in either negative or in positive ways. And essentially the negative way is to be very personally concerned, have your ego very invested in how good of a job you do in becoming almost a necessary part of a certain system or a certain organization. And so then if you have a negative way of working with Saturn in that house, you become very anxious about whether or not you are necessary, whether or not you're helping. And of course, when we worry so much about how we help, we become less helpful. So rather than that manifestation, it's better to take the opposite approach, which is just saying to yourself, so I have to really focus on worrying about or trying to fit into some type of an environment and to help in that environment to make it run smoothly. And so rather than taking it personally, I can simply focus on making it better, become almost an expert on efficiency, on making things run well, on being helpful. A lot of times helping roles are background type of roles. You know, today we recognize healthcare workers, for example, as heroes, and that's rightfully so, but oftentimes they're not highlighted in the foreground. They're people who really, their job runs best when they're not noticed rather than when they are. And that's true for all kinds of service providers. And so that's kind of a clue as to how to really apply your Saturn in your 6th house well, which is really focusing, studying, paying a lot of attention to how to be more efficient in whatever it is that you're working with. It could be at a job, but it could just be in your role in life. You might be a homemaker, you might be a volunteer, you might be a roadie. I mean, it doesn't matter what type of service role we're talking about. It's about really getting your ego out of the way and simply trying as hard as you can to make things run smoothly. If you are looking more at the body aspect of this placement, then it could signal that you're prone to health issues. Now remember, astrology is not something that's like fate from on high, very rarely. Rather, these are forces in play. So when you have your planet of law in your given form in your 6th house, that's for a reason. Now, a negative manifestation of it could be either hypochondria or excessive problems with health. But if so, then it is through trying to take and change that way of working with that Saturn, becoming more of an expert in whatever that is. So even if you have a health issue, trying to figure out, kind of take mastery over that and say, you know, this is an opportunity to really master something, and it's for a reason. Saturn is always part of why you came here. It's a chosen form. So if you have Saturn in your 6th house, there's something about your purpose, your intent for coming here, working with that purpose to manifest yourself as an expert in a field of healing or helping, manifesting yourself as an expert in illness or in health, or simply in service. I would definitely say service is a big theme for you, and to take that to a positive, and remember you chose Saturn in your 6th house.